Hey guys, this is John. Um, Today I want to talk about success and ordinary life and just kind of the separation between the two and how they can also be thought of in a unified way. Um, really, it's so first of all, I want to define success. I think success is achieving something, it's achieving a goal. Maybe it's achieving a state of mind, um, and it's kind of exciting when you realize that you are successful. You know, I feel that way when I'm successful for sure. And then of course, ordinary and mundane really is the other side of success. It's just when life is, you know, it's already achieved. It's like when you're living or repeating something that you've already achieved. So, for example, when I was really young, I um, learned how to make a bowl of cereal, and I it felt amazing when it happened. It was a complete moment of success in my life. But after a while, I got used to it, and it became ordinary, and that was no longer success in my mind. It was just part of the mundane task in life. And one thing I recently came across in my meditation is to always find each moment as a new moment, to be as amazing and beautiful and totally, loving as the first time that moment was achieved. So, I guess I think that redefining success as, for me, as achieving a state of mind where I can always feel totally enwrapped in what I'm doing and totally, achieving and aspiring every time I do something. And if I can do that, then it's always going to feel fresh and feel new, and feel amazing. And I'll always feel at ease while I'm doing it, Because, I mean, and there's never going to be anything like that moment, though, that first time doing something. But I think that is where, that successful, just awesome moment of achieving something sets in, and then you can revisit that, and you can get close to that initial feeling, but I don't think it's possible to completely get all the way there. Because there's nothing more exhilarating than learning something new. Because if you could get all the way there, there would be no reason to want to learn new things. If every time you do something it felt just as good as the first time you did something, there would really be no reason to learn new things. But I think you can get really close to feeling that same energy that you felt when you first learned it, and it can always be that close, But I think it's important also to recognize when success happens and then be able to let the moment go and not try to cling on to it, because if you cling on to something, it just kind of it turns into something that will drag you away from the present moment, and it becomes like an anchor and a burden, and that's not healthy either. So I also like looking at life as highs and lows, mountains and valleys. You come across a mountain and it feels great, but you can't live on the peak of a mountain, You have to come down off the mountain because it's going to freeze up there eventually. And the valley is just as beautiful as the mountain, It may not feel as amazing, but that's where all the potential energy is. That's where you can rest and relax and start feeling invigorated again to climb up the mountain again. Life is a constant wave, and it's constantly changing, and you know, I like to think of it also as potential versus kinetic energy. You know, it's like when you're in the valley of a situation or relaxing or something, that's where you feel the most potential, and that's where your reserve of energy is. It's at its most vast moment. Like, that's where it is. That's where you can tap in and really look at your life from a different perspective. And then when you're in the moment of excitement and there's a bunch of things happening all at once, you know, that moment is so great too, because that's everything that you have been building up for and preparing for. You know, that's all your potential energy flowering and blossoming into this awesome kinetic, just ultra vibe. It's just like blam. It's great. But I think it's amazing to always be aware of everything that's going on in life. You know, if you can be aware of those moments where it's like, oh my god, this is so exciting, and then let it go when it's over and be like, damn, that was awesome, but now it's time to rest and go and move on to the next thing. You know, life is just a constant journey, and it's so filled with all kinds of crazy things that happen, and always maintaining a state of awareness and being in a you know, active state of love is essential. Absolutely essential. Just always being unconditional love, no matter what the situation is, no matter how crazy and dramatic things can get. Maintaining that state of love is crucial. Absolutely crucial. And it's so active. You can't just love yourself for a few minutes. Like, you gotta always be in a state of love, in a state of mind of pure love and joy and gratitude. It's just so amazing to always be there. So, enjoy ordinary life. Enjoy it. Enjoy the mundane. Make it new. Make it fresh. Be totally involved in it and not let your mind wander off to other things. Because right now, what's happening right now is what's happening right now, you know? And if you can totally envelop yourself in what's going on right now, then everything just feels so much better. It feels so much more love, and it flows so much better. Like, food tastes so much better. The meal just becomes that much more amazing when you can focus all of your energy onto it, you know. Mind tends to wander, and if we can keep ourselves anchored into the present moment, life is great. And there's a time for planning, you know, there's a time for putting thought into certain things, but really, why would you want to taint the beauty of eating some food or driving or whatever while you're doing it? Like, why would you want to taint those things with other thoughts that don't have anything to do with what you're doing right now? So, anyway, that's all I have for today. Love you guys, and